Imagine this: by the time most of us reach 65, nearly half of adults say they wake up feeling more tired than before they went to bed. Isn't that shocking? Sleep is supposed to restore us, yet for so many seniors, it feels like the night steals more energy than it gives back. But here's the hopeful truth: you can change that, and the secret may already be sitting in your kitchen. I want you to picture lying in bed at night. The room is quiet, maybe the faint tick of a clock on the wall. You pull the blanket higher, but your body feels heavy, almost restless, as if it never quite powers down. Then morning comes, the alarm, or maybe the birds outside, and instead of springing up, you feel stiff, foggy, and older than your years. That sensation, that dull drag in your bones and joints, isn't just getting old. It's your body pleading for the right fuel to heal itself overnight. Here's something many people don't realize: after age 60, our bodies lose about 1% of muscle every year if we don't fight back. 1% may sound small, but think about it: over 10 years, that's a tenth of your strength gone. No wonder getting out of bed feels harder, or carrying groceries seems heavier than it used to. And yet, the answer isn't another nap, or a stronger cup of coffee. It's hidden in the way you prepare your body before you even fall asleep. Have you ever noticed how certain foods make you feel? A heavy pasta dinner that leaves you sluggish. A sugary dessert that gives you a burst, only to crash you down. Now imagine the opposite: foods that quietly go to work while you rest, rebuilding muscle, smoothing out stiff joints, and charging every cell with fresh energy. Foods that whisper to your body: repair, restore, recharge. That's the difference between dragging yourself through mornings and waking up with a spark. And here's the kicker: most seniors are accidentally eating the very things that sabotage this process. A glass of wine to help with sleep? It actually blocks deep rest. A late-night sweet to feel comforted? It spikes blood sugar, then drops it, leaving you restless at 3 a.m. Even a simple bowl of cereal before bed, harmless, right? Wrong. That quick sugar hit can keep your body from producing the hormones that repair muscle and memory. The good news? When you know what to swap in, everything changes. And that's exactly why I share these tips here, so you don't have to figure it all out alone. If this is speaking to you, take a moment to hit the subscribe button and give this video a like. It helps more seniors like us find the tools to feel better, and it keeps you from missing the next step we're about to dive into. Let me give you a vivid picture. Think of your body as a rechargeable battery. Every night, you plug it in, at least, that's what sleep is supposed to do. But if the charger is broken, or worse, if you've been plugging it into the wrong outlet, you wake up with only 30% power. That's why mornings feel heavy. That's why climbing stairs leaves you winded. That's why names slip your mind faster than they used to. But here's the beautiful part: you can fix the charger, and the tools are as simple as the foods you eat before bed. Now, I don't want you to think this means drastic change. It's not about giving up everything you enjoy. It's about adding the right pieces back into the foods that help your body rebuild like it did decades ago. Foods that calm inflammation, restore circulation, and even help your brain lock in memories overnight. I promise you, when you learn what they are, you'll look at your dinner plate in a whole new way. And this is where our journey begins. Because to understand which foods restore energy, we first have to understand why the body loses it in the first place. In the next part, I'll walk you through exactly what happens inside your cells as you age, and why it's not your fault if you've been feeling more tired than alive. Once you see the real reason behind the fatigue, you'll finally understand how to turn it around. Trust me, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Think about this: by the time you reach 70, your body has about 25% fewer mitochondria, the little engines inside your cells, than it did when you were 40. 25% gone. That's like trying to drive a car with 1 out of every 4 spark plugs missing. No wonder energy feels harder to come by. But here's the hopeful truth: even at 70, or 80, you can wake those engines back up. You've probably felt it yourself. The morning stiffness when you swing your legs out of bed. The way your knees creak on that first step. The fog that lingers until your second cup of coffee. These aren't just signs of getting old. They're signals that your body's repair systems are slowing down. And the biggest culprit? The natural loss of muscle, circulation, and hormones that starts quietly in your 50s and speeds up after 60. Here's a surprising fact: starting at 60, we lose muscle twice as fast as we did in our 30s. Twice as fast. That's why the same flight of stairs that once felt easy now leaves you winded. It's not just your legs, your heart, your lungs, even your brain depend on that muscle mass to stay strong. Without it, the body burns less fuel, circulation slows, and energy tanks. But the beautiful thing is, food can signal your body to hold on to that strength, even rebuild it while you sleep. I know it can feel frustrating. Maybe you've done everything the doctor suggested, taking pills for blood pressure, pills for cholesterol, maybe even pills for sleep. And still, the fatigue lingers. Here's why: medications manage symptoms, but they don't feed your cells what they're starving for. It's like patching holes in a roof while ignoring the rotten beams underneath. If the structure isn't fed, it can't stand. Your body's structure, your cells, are hungry for the right kind of fuel. Now let's talk about circulation. You felt the difference between warm, lively hands and those days when your fingers feel cold and stiff, almost numb. That's your blood flow. With age, blood vessels lose their flexibility, like old garden hoses that crack and kink. When blood doesn't flow freely, oxygen doesn't reach your muscles and brain the way it should. That's why you might feel lightheaded, or notice memory lapses, or feel weak after even simple chores. But here's something many seniors don't know: the right evening foods can act almost like flex oil for your blood vessels, helping them open up overnight. Imagine oxygen rushing back into your tissues like fresh water filling a stream. And then there's the brain. Did you know that your brain actually shrinks about 5% per decade after the age of 60? It's a normal process, but it explains a lot: why remembering names feels harder, why focus fades faster. What's fascinating, though, is that certain nutrients can slow that shrinkage and even protect memory cells from damage. It's like adding protective padding around delicate wires so the connections stay sharp. I want you to remember this: you are not broken. Your body isn't failing you out of spite. It's simply shifting with age, and the rules of energy change. The old tricks, an afternoon nap, a jolt of caffeine, don't cut it anymore. What you need is a new approach, one that works with the changes inside your body instead of against them. So, what are these changes costing you? What little mistakes in your daily routine might be making your nights restless and your mornings harder? In the next part, we'll uncover the hidden habits and myths that quietly drain energy from seniors every single day. And once you see them, you'll understand why so many people stay stuck in fatigue and how easily you can step out of that trap. You'll want to hear this, because these mistakes are so common, most people don't even realize they're making them. Here's something that might surprise you: one late night habit can actually age your cells faster than smoking a pack of cigarettes a day. And the worst part? It's something many seniors think is harmless. A bowl of cereal before bed. A cookie with tea. A glass of wine to relax. These small choices, repeated night after night, quietly rob the body of its chance to restore energy. Think about it. You finish dinner, maybe watch some TV, and then around 9 or 10, the craving hits. You want something sweet, something comforting. So you reach for a muffin or maybe ice cream. That sugar rush might feel good for a moment, but inside your body, it's chaos. Blood sugar spikes like fireworks, then plummets. Instead of sleeping deeply, your body spends the night fighting roller coaster sugar levels. And what do you get when the sun rises? A foggy head, stiff muscles, and energy that feels trapped in neutral. Here's another myth that trips people up: wine helps me sleep. I hear this all the time. Yes, a glass might make you feel drowsy, but it doesn't give you real rest. Alcohol actually blocks the deep sleep cycles where your brain repairs memory and your muscles rebuild strength. That's why so many people wake up at 3 a.m., restless, tossing, and staring at the ceiling. It's not insomnia, it's biology. And let's talk about protein. A lot of seniors skip protein at night, thinking it's only for athletes or younger people. But here's the hidden truth: without enough protein in the evening, your body can't repair muscle tissue while you sleep. So instead of waking up stronger, you wake up weaker. Imagine trying to patch up a roof without any shingles; it just can't be done. I know the struggles are real. Maybe you've noticed climbing stairs feels harder than it used to, or you find yourself holding onto the railing just in case. Maybe you sit down in the evening and doze off in the recliner, even though you're not really tired, you're just drained. Or maybe it's the embarrassment of forgetting a friend's name mid-conversation, even though you've known them for decades. These small moments feel personal, but they're part of a bigger pattern. Here's a surprising fact most people don't know: a single nutrient deficiency, like magnesium, can mimic the symptoms of chronic fatigue or even depression. Imagine dragging yourself through the day, thinking it's your age or your mood, when really your cells are just screaming for one missing mineral. That's how powerful the connection between food and energy really is. The good news? None of this is permanent. These common mistakes, late-night sugar, evening alcohol, skipping protein, missing nutrients, are reversible. The body is incredibly forgiving when you give it what it needs. The problem is, most people don't know which foods actually work like fuel and which ones quietly drain the tank. And that brings us to the turning point. Because in just a moment, I'm going to share what researchers have discovered as simple, natural foods that not only stop the energy drain, but actually flip the body's repair switch back on overnight. Imagine waking up not groggy and sore, but lighter, clearer, even eager to start the day. That's what's possible. In the next part, we'll step into the breakthrough, the science of energy foods that fuel your cells while you sleep. And I'll reveal the first two that can transform the way you feel by tomorrow morning. You won't want to miss it. Here's something remarkable. In one study, seniors who added just one specific evening food to their diet reported waking up with less joint pain and more mental clarity in as little as 2 weeks. 2 weeks. That's faster than most medications ever promise. And this wasn't some exotic superfood, it was something you can find in almost every grocery store. Let's start with tart cherries. Not cherry pie filling or sugary juice, but the real thing, tart cherries or unsweetened tart cherry juice. These little gems are packed with melatonin, the hormone your body naturally produces to guide you into sleep. But here's the kicker: they also contain powerful antioxidants that fight inflammation all night long. Picture it, you're asleep, and those cherries are like tiny repair crews moving through your body, calming sore joints, soothing tired muscles, and helping your brain recharge. That's why some seniors wake up less stiff after just a few nights of adding them. Now, let's talk about another powerhouse: fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, or sardines. You've probably heard of omega-3s, but here's the part most people miss: they don't just protect the heart, they keep cell membranes soft and flexible. Why does that matter? Because stiff, rigid cells can't take in oxygen and nutrients efficiently. Think of it like trying to pour water into a brittle sponge, it just runs off. But with omega-3s, your cells act like soft, thirsty sponges, soaking up exactly what they need to restore your energy. That means less morning stiffness, calmer moods, and sharper thinking. And the science backs this up. Researchers at a major university tracked older adults who ate fatty fish several times a week. The results? Better sleep quality, fewer nighttime awakenings, and improved daytime alertness. Imagine lying down at night, hearing the gentle hum of the world outside, and actually drifting into deep, unbroken sleep. Then picture waking up, stretching, and feeling your shoulders loosen instead of ache. That's what these foods can do, not in years, but in days or weeks. Now, here's where it gets even more exciting. These two foods, tart cherries and fatty fish, are only the beginning. They're like the opening notes of a song. When you combine them with other key foods, the effect multiplies. It's not just better sleep or a little less stiffness. It's whole body renewal, from stronger muscles to brighter moods. But I don't want you to think you need to overhaul your entire diet overnight. The beauty is in small, simple changes that fit into your life. A glass of tart cherry juice after dinner. A salmon fillet twice a week. These aren't complicated or expensive. They're practical steps that turn your dinner plate into a healing tool. Still, you might be wondering, if cherries and salmon can make such a difference, what else is out there? What about the foods that not only help you rest but also push oxygen through your bloodstream like rocket fuel, feeding every tired cell? That's the next level. And it's exactly where we're headed. Because in the next part, I'm going to reveal the complete list, the 5 foods that, when used together, restore energy overnight. And I've saved the most powerful one for last. Trust me, once you hear about it, you'll never look at your evening meal the same way again. Here's a fact that still amazes me: certain foods can boost your energy levels more effectively than most over-the-counter supplements, and they do it naturally, without side effects. Imagine waking up tomorrow and feeling like your body's low battery signal finally switched off. That's what happens when you bring these 5 foods into your evening routine. We already talked about the first 2: tart cherries and fatty fish. Now let's complete the list. Number 3 is leafy greens. Spinach, kale, collards. They're not just rabbit food. They're packed with magnesium, a mineral that relaxes muscles, calms the nervous system, and actually signals your body it's time to rest. Ever notice leg cramps at night, or that tight, restless feeling that keeps you from falling asleep? That's often magnesium deficiency talking. A small salad or a side of greens with dinner can ease the tension and set you up for deeper, more peaceful sleep. Number 4 might surprise you: pumpkin seeds. Just a handful in the evening provides zinc and tryptophan, 2 nutrients your brain uses to create serotonin and melatonin. That's your natural sleep chemistry, right there. Instead of reaching for a pill, you can crunch on these little seeds and literally build the hormones that guide you into deep, restorative rest. And they're delicious, nutty, earthy, satisfying. It's like nature's bedtime snack. And then there's number 5, the strongest of them all. Beetroot. Bright red, earthy, a little sweet. Beets are rich in natural nitrates, which your body converts into nitric oxide. What does that do? It opens up your blood vessels, improving circulation and flooding your muscles and brain with oxygen. Imagine your bloodstream as a river that's been clogged and sluggish. Now picture the dam opening and fresh water rushing through. That's what beets do for your energy. Some athletes call them rocket fuel for the body, but here's the best part: they work just as well for seniors. Eat them roasted, blended into a smoothie, or even sipped as beet juice, and you'll feel the difference the very next morning. Think about how these 5 foods work together. Cherries guide you into sleep. Fatty fish keeps your cells flexible and fueled. Leafy greens calm your muscles. Pumpkin seeds rebuild your brain's sleep chemistry. And beets flood your body with oxygen. One by one they're powerful, but together? They form a complete nighttime repair kit. It's like having your own team of mechanics working under the hood while you rest, tuning every system so you wake up ready for the day. Here's the beauty: you don't have to eat all 5 at once. Start with 1. Add another next week. Little by little, you'll feel the changes stacking up. Less stiffness in the morning. Fewer restless nights. More clarity when you wake up. It's not a fad, not a gimmick. It's biology working the way it was designed. But here's what I really want you to picture: not just the foods themselves, but the life they give back. Because this isn't about cherry juice or pumpkin seeds. It's about what happens when your body feels alive again. And that's exactly what we'll explore next. In the next part, I'll paint the picture of what life can look like when these foods become part of your rhythm. We'll step into the vision of transformation, how mornings, movement, and even memory begin to change. You'll want to imagine it for yourself, because this is where the science turns into real life. Here's something hopeful you might not expect. Studies show that seniors who change just a few evening nutrition habits can regain the equivalent of 10 years of energy capacity in a matter of weeks. 10 years. Imagine that for a moment. What would you do if your body felt a decade younger? Picture yourself waking up tomorrow morning. You stretch, and instead of groaning at stiff knees or rubbing your lower back, you feel light. Your muscles aren't fighting you. Your joints aren't creaking like rusty hinges. You swing your feet onto the floor, stand up, and there's no wobble, no hesitation. That's the kind of transformation these foods unlock when they become part of your routine. Let's take it into a real moment. Maybe you've avoided long walks because you get winded too quickly. Now, with better circulation from something as simple as beets, you find yourself walking farther without needing to pause. The cool morning air fills your lungs, and instead of gasping, you breathe easy. Your steps sound steady on the sidewalk. And when you sit down at a bench, it's not from exhaustion, it's to enjoy the laughter of children playing nearby. That's not just energy. That's freedom returning. Or imagine this, you're at the kitchen table with your grandchildren. They're chattering, showing you their drawings, and this time you're not drifting in and out, struggling to focus. Your mind is sharp. You catch every detail of their stories, laugh at their jokes, and maybe even tell one of your own. That foggy curtain that used to hang over your thoughts? It's lifted. Your brain feels awake again. And meals, let's not forget that. Instead of bland or heavy dishes that leave you groggy, your plate is colorful. The deep red of roasted beets, the crisp green of leafy vegetables, the earthy crunch of pumpkin seeds sprinkled on top. You take a bite, and it's not just food, it's medicine that tastes good. You feel warmth spread through your body, like every cell is quietly saying, "Thank you." Here's another picture. You're at a family gathering, and instead of sitting out of the games or leaving early because you're too tired, you're right there in the middle of it. You bend down to pick up a toddler without fear of falling. You join in the dance, or at least tap your foot with energy that surprises even you. People notice. They say, "You've got a glow about you. What's your secret?" And it's not a secret, it's simply giving your body what it's been craving all along. This is what transformation looks like. It's not about living forever. It's about living better. More energy. More mobility. More joy in the small, ordinary moments that make life rich. You can almost hear the difference, your own laughter ringing out stronger, your voice steady when you say yes to things you used to turn down. But the most powerful shift isn't just physical. It's the feeling of control. Of knowing you're not at the mercy of age. You have tools, choices, power in your own hands. And that changes everything. Now, here's the important part, none of this happens if the knowledge just stays as knowledge. The transformation only comes when you act, when you begin even with one small change tonight. And that brings us to the final step. In the next part, we'll bring it all together, the key lessons, the hope, and the immediate actions you can take to start reclaiming your energy right now. You'll see why this journey is not just possible, it's yours to begin today. Here's the truth that most people never hear, aging does not have to mean fading away. It can mean waking up every morning with a sense of strength, clarity, and joy that surprises even you. Yes, years add up. But so can health, if you feed it. Think about this, your body is rebuilding itself constantly. Right now, as you listen, your cells are repairing, your blood is flowing, your heart is working faithfully without you asking. Every single bite you choose tonight can either slow that down, or speed it up. That's not wishful thinking. That's biology. I want you to imagine a simple scene. It's a cool evening, and you're setting the table. Instead of heavy, processed foods, your plate glows with colored deep reds, fresh greens, a splash of golden olive oil. You sit down, take a bite, and you know you're not just eating, you're giving your body what it's been waiting for. You feel warmth, not sluggishness. Energy, not fatigue. That's what reclaiming your health looks like in real life. And here's the beauty of it, small choices create big change. A handful of pumpkin seeds at night. A glass of water before bed. A serving of beets or leafy greens during the week. One swap at a time, one habit at a time, you're building a stronger tomorrow. You don't need perfection. You just need progress. Picture 6 months from now. You're walking into a room, and someone says, "Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?" And you smile, because you know it's not a magic pill. It's not luck. It's you choosing to take back control. Choosing life, energy, and moments that matter. But I'll tell you something even more important, you're not alone in this. Thousands of seniors are waking up to this truth, making these changes, and feeling the results. You can be part of that. You can inspire others around you, your friends, your family, just by showing them what's possible. That spark you feel inside right now? That's your body whispering, yes. Let's begin. So let's make this practical. Tonight, choose one thing. Maybe it's adding a handful of seeds. Maybe it's skipping that sugary late-night snack and replacing it with something nourishing. Maybe it's filling a glass of water and putting it by your bed. One small win is all it takes to start the momentum. And tomorrow? Do it again. Let the small wins stack up until they become a lifestyle. Until you no longer think of yourself as slowing down with age, but as someone moving forward, with energy and purpose. This is your time. Your season. You've cared for others, you've worked hard, and now your body is asking you to care for it in return. And when you do, it will reward you with more than energy, it will reward you with freedom. If this message spoke to your heart, I'd love for you to join this journey with me. Subscribe to the channel so you don't miss the next steps. Tap the like button if you found something valuable here. And please, share your thoughts in the comments, tell me which small change you're going to start tonight. Your words may inspire someone else to begin, too. Because this isn't the end. It's the beginning. A stronger, brighter chapter is waiting for you, and I can't wait to walk it with you.